You think your money problem is income, but it is structure. One paycheck lands, you feel powerful, then the month drains you back to zero. That leak is a design flaw, not a character flaw. In 2026, prices do not wait for your next raise. Cash in a basic account can look safe, yet it quietly loses buying power. When inflation runs faster, saving becomes a slow-motion pay cut. So people panic and swing between extremes. They hoard cash, then chase hype, then freeze again. The market does not punish beginners for being wrong once. It punishes them for being inconsistent. Today I am giving you a portfolio layout that removes the drama. It is not a prediction, it is a split. When the rules are mechanical, your emotions stop steering the wheel. It is called the 50-30-20 dividend formula. Half goes to defensive dividend raisers, 30% goes to dividend growers, and 20% goes to high-yield anchors. Simple on purpose. By the end, you will see how each slice has a job, how they protect each other, and how a quarterly rebalance keeps the engine aligned. The final piece is the mistake that breaks most plans. My name is Dave, and if you want calm, growing cash flow without guessing, tap like, subscribe, and tell me in a sentence, what makes you hesitate most? Fear of loss, fear of missing out, or confusion? Now let us talk about the wealth leak. Most people budget, but they never allocate capital. They keep money in places designed for spending, not compounding. Consumers optimize comfort, owners optimize systems. A savings account feels responsible because it is labeled savings. But in a high inflation year, the real return can be negative after taxes. Safe can still be losing, just quietly. That is why the formula starts with structure, not stock picking. If you have a split, you can plug almost any quality names into it and still behave better. Behavior is the hidden asset class. Here is the mental shift. You are not collecting random dividends, you are assembling a machine. When you treat shares like employees, you stop firing them during a bad week. The 50% slice is your foundation. It is designed to survive storms, so the rest of the portfolio can take smart risk. Stability is what buys you patience. The 30% slice is your turbocharger. It is where future income explodes because payout growth compounds on payout growth. High-growth dividends turn time into leverage. The 20% slice is your anchor and your ammo. It provides cash flow you can redeploy when prices fall. Liquidity is not laziness, it is optionality. Notice what is missing. There is no guessing about next month's headlines. There is no perfect entry. The formula wins by repeating boring actions longer than your feelings can tolerate. Let us define defensive aristocrats. These are companies with at least 25 consecutive years of dividend increases. That history is not magic, but it signals resilience, cash flow, and discipline. Why does that matter? Because in corrections, beginners sell what they do not understand. A long dividend record gives you a story you can hold on to. Confidence is the antidote to panic selling. These blue-chip pillars tend to have diversified revenue, strong balance sheets, and pricing power. They can pass some costs to customers. When costs rise, pricing power is survival. In this slice, you are not chasing the highest yield. You are buying durability. Think consumer staples, healthcare, utilities, and industrial leaders with proven cycles. Boring businesses fund exciting lives. Let me give you a simple math picture. If half your portfolio throws off a steady dividend stream, you feel a flaw under your plan. A perceived flaw changes your decisions. Imagine you invest $1,000 per month. If the defensive slice yields about 3%, it might start small, but it is consistent. Consistency is what keeps you contributing. Over 10 years, those raises matter. A company that increases dividends by 7% yearly can double its payout roughly every decade. Dividend growth is a compounding escalator. This is also your volatility buffer. When the aggressive names get hammered, the defensive slice often falls less. That smaller drawdown is not exciting, but it is crucial, because selling is usually triggered by pain, not logic. If your portfolio drops by 30%, you feel broken. If it drops by 15%, you feel bruised. Small differences save plans. How do you choose names here? Start with dividend aristocrat lists, then screen for payout ratio, debt levels, and free cash flow coverage. If the dividend is not covered, it is not a dividend strategy. Look for moderate payout ratios, often below 60% for many sectors, and conservative balance sheets. Avoid companies raising dividends while earnings shrink. That is a warning flag. Also, diversify across industries. If half your money sits in one sector, your foundation becomes a bet. A foundation should be wide, not tall. It is the part that lets you sleep, because you know your plan can take a punch. Now the 30% growth turbocharger. This slice is about dividend growers with faster payout hikes, even if current yield is low. Think of it as planting trees, not harvesting apples. A company yielding 1% today can be powerful if it raises the dividend by 15% per year. In 7 years, your income on cost looks very different. Time rewards growth more than size. This is where yield on cost matters. Yield on cost is your annual dividend divided by what you originally paid. When payouts rise, your personal yield rises without adding capital. In 2026, the economy rewards productivity, software, data infrastructure, automation, and select financial platforms. Many of these firms are initiating dividends and growing them fast. You do not need to chase trendy tickers. You need businesses with expanding cash flows, conservative payout policies, and a culture of returning capital. Culture is strategy that repeats. Here is the doubling effect. If dividends grow 10% yearly, the dividend stream roughly doubles in about 7 years. That is not a promise, it is math. Growth rates control destiny. This slice also fuels capital appreciation, which later buys more income. When the stock price grows and you reinvest, you are compounding on 2 fronts, shares and payouts. But risk is real here. Fast growers can swing hard. That is why they are 30%, not 70%. Concentration is what turns volatility into catastrophe. To vet dividend growers, look for rising revenue, rising free cash flow, manageable debt, and a payout ratio that leaves room. If a firm pays out almost everything, it cannot grow payouts fast. Also check share dilution. If a company issues shares aggressively, your ownership gets watered down. Dividend growth is weaker when ownership is shrinking. If you ignore dilution, your dividend growth can look fine while your slice of the pie shrinks. Now, the 20% high yield anchors. This is where people get trapped, so we will be strict. The goal is immediate cash flow, not a flashing yield number. A high yield can be a siren. Monthly payers can be useful, as can certain funds, preferred shares, and real asset vehicles. They can provide steady distributions that feel like a paycheck replacement early in the journey. But sustainability is everything. You must examine coverage ratios, distribution history, and the underlying business model. If the payout depends on perfect conditions, it will fail you. Look for diversified income sources, conservative leverage, and transparent reporting. Avoid assets where the distribution is repeatedly cut, then marketed with a new story. That is not income. That is marketing. This slice also creates dry powder. When markets dip, your high-yield cash flow arrives and you can buy quality at better prices. Cash flow during fear is a superpower. Do not obsess over the exact number. The real weapon is the growth rate of the total dividend stream. A rising payout is what turns a portfolio into a self-funding engine. Next, execution. You can automate this with fractional shares. Set 3 recurring buys, 50% to the defensive basket, 30% to the growth basket, 20% to the high-yield basket. Pick a contribution you can repeat. Even $200 per month matters. A small plan executed monthly beats a big plan executed once. Even on tight months, you keep the rhythm, and the rhythm is what makes compounding unavoidable eventually. Use a platform that allows scheduled investing and dividend reinvestment. Turn on automatic reinvest, then let the system buy more shares from every payout. Make compounding your default setting. Now the rebalance rule. Over time, one slice will drift. If growth rockets, 30% becomes 40%. If high yield crashes, 20% becomes 15%. Drift changes risk. So once per quarter, do a check-in. Look at percentages, not headlines. If a slice is above target, direct new contributions to the others until you are back in line. Rebalancing sells emotion. If drift is large, you may need to trim. That is harder psychologically, which is why the rule must be mechanical. When rules are pre-written, you do not negotiate with yourself. Here is a simple quarterly checklist. 1. Confirm dividends were paid. 2. Confirm payout coverage still looks healthy. 3. Confirm your split is close to 50, 30, and 20. 4. Scan for dividend cuts or warning signals. If a holding cuts the dividend, move it out of the defensive or high-yield slice immediately. A cut is data, not drama. 5. Add your new capital and reinvest payouts. Then walk away. Your job is not to watch candles. Your job is to feed the machine. Boredom is the price of wealth. Now let us project the 10-year trajectory. Assume you invest $500 per month. That is $6,000 per year. Over 10 years, contributions total $60,000. But the dividend stream is the part most people underestimate. If your starting yield is 3.5%, on $100,000 that is $3,500 per year. And if the dividend stream grows by 7% yearly, that $3,500 can become about $6,900 in 10 years. Income can double while you sleep. This is why the 30% growth slice matters. It pushes the growth rate of your income higher, so your future cash flow accelerates even if your contributions stay the same. And this is why the 50% defensive slice matters. It keeps you invested during the years when returns feel flat. Most people quit in the valley right before the slope. Let us address the biggest beginner fear. What if I start at the wrong time? If you invest monthly, you are buying across prices. A crash early can actually help because your later buys are cheaper. The danger is not starting before a crash. The danger is stopping during a crash. Compounding requires presence, not perfection. Your future self thanks you for buying when it feels uncomfortable, not when it feels easy today. That is why the formula is a shield. Defensive dividends create a floor. High yield creates cash flow for dip buying. Growth creates future doubling. Together, they keep you from abandoning the plan. Now, specific guardrails. In the defensive slice, avoid extreme valuation. Even great businesses can be bad buys at silly prices. Use basic valuation metrics and be patient with entries. In the growth slice, avoid companies with flashy buybacks and thin cash flow. Dividend growth must be funded by real earnings. Financial engineering cannot replace cash flow. In the high-yield slice, avoid yields that jump after price collapses. That is often a warning the market expects a cut. When yield spikes, ask what broke. Also avoid over-reliance on one fund manager or one structure. Spread high yield across a few vehicles, so one failure does not poison the entire 20%. Now let us make this tangible with a first portfolio example. Say you have $5,000 to start and you add $300 per month. You build 3 baskets immediately. Basket 1 is $2,500 in Defensive Raisers. Basket 2 is $1,500 in Dividend Growers. Basket 3 is $1,000 in high-yield anchors. Each month your $300 splits into $150, $90, and $60. Fractional shares make this easy. Automation is how you beat your future excuses. But there is a trap here. People then chase higher yield to accelerate. They swap quality for yield and increase risk at the exact moment the plan starts working. Success invites sabotage. So here is the rule. You may increase yield only if coverage and business quality stay strong. If you cannot explain the payout source in 1 minute, do not buy it. Now let us talk about emotional decision-making, because that is why formulas exist. When prices fall, your brain screams danger. The formula whispers instructions. Follow the whisper. When prices soar, your brain screams genius. The formula whispers discipline again. That is the point. The same rule must control you in fear and in euphoria. Here is a simple reframe. Every drop is a sale on future cash flow. If your holdings are quality, lower prices mean higher future yields on cost. Drops can be gifts if you can stay calm. But you can only stay calm if you trust the foundation. That is why we started with aristocrats. They are not perfect, but they are proven. Proven beats promising when stress hits. Let us zoom into the quarterly routine one more time. Schedule it on your calendar. On that day, you do 3 actions. Measure, adjust, and automate. Then you stop. Measure the split. Adjust contributions or trim small amounts if needed. Automate the next 3 months of buys. That is it. No doom scrolling, no prediction threads, no hot takes. Hot. Now what about market volatility in 2026? Rate cycles, geopolitics, and policy noise can whip prices. None of that changes the formula. Noise is temporary, ownership is permanent. If rates stay higher, defensive cash generators matter. If growth accelerates, dividend growers shine. If the market drops, high-yield cash flow fuels purchases. This is why the split is robust. Here is the part most people miss. The formula is not just allocation, it is identity. When you become the person who follows a system, results eventually have to catch up. Now we reach the mistake I teased earlier. People rebalance the wrong way. They wait for pain, then they sell winners to buy losers without checking quality. Rebalancing is not contrarian gambling. Mechanical rebalance means you keep quality standards constant. If a holding deteriorates, you replace it, not average down blindly. Rebalance percentages, not broken businesses. That one rule keeps you from marrying a loser, because the thesis, not the price, decides everything. So what is the practical takeaway? Build 3 watch lists: Defensive Raisers list, Dividend Growers list, and High Yield Anchors list. When you invest, you pick from the right list. This prevents style drift. It keeps a high-yield temptation from infecting the growth slice. Categories protect you from yourself. When a new idea shows up, you ask which bucket it belongs in before you buy it. Now, let us tighten the strategy with an exit rule. If a company freezes its dividend for long enough, it may no longer fit. If it cuts, it is out. If coverage collapses, it is out. This sounds harsh, but remember the mission. Your portfolio is an income engine. If an employee stops doing the job, you replace the employee. Owners fire positions, not dreams. At this point, you might wonder, do I need many holdings? Not necessarily. A focused basket of 10 to 20 quality positions can work, plus a couple of high-yield vehicles. Keep it manageable. Complexity is another wealth leak. Too many positions means you stop tracking fundamentals and you start guessing. Simple systems scale, complicated ones collapse. Let us do a 10-year compounding picture with numbers. Start with 0. Invest 500 monthly, 8% return, and reinvest dividends. You may approach 6 figures. That is the base layer. Then the second layer appears. Your dividend income begins funding part of your contributions. Your paycheck is no longer the only fuel. When the machine starts self-feeding, momentum changes. Then the third layer appears. In a downturn, your dividends buy more shares at lower prices, so the rebound pays you more. That is compounding using volatility, not fearing it. This is why I call it compounding ownership. You are not chasing a number on a screen. You are building a growing claim on business cash flows. Cash flow is reality. Price is sentiment. Now, quick reality check. This is not a guarantee of profit. Markets can disappoint, companies can fail, and life can interrupt. But a rigid structure improves your odds dramatically. If you want to start today, do this. Choose your monthly amount. Split it into 50, 30, and 20. Pick quality holdings for each category. Turn on reinvest. Schedule quarterly check-ins. If you enjoyed this, share it with someone who is stuck between saving and building ownership. And in the comments, tell me your exact split today and what you want it to be in 1 year and why.